Welcome once again, everybody, to Blockbuster Mentality, the show where we dive deep into the world of cinema. I'm your host, Ben Secord, and once again, we invite Vinny Malatino on the show as we give our top 10 movies of 2017. Last week, we gave our 10 through 6. This week, we're gonna give our 5 through 1, so our top 5 films of 2017. Very excited to share with you. This is it. This is all of 2017, our favorite films of the year. What a year in film. So sit back, relax, let's talk some movies.
So part 2 of our top 10 list of 2017. We have done our 10 through 6, and we are ready to run through 5 through 1, the absolute best movies of 2017. Ben, kick us off with your number 5.
Oh, okay. We're just going to jump right into it.
Yeah, jumping in.
Well, because a lot of our 10 through 6 we didn't really dive deep into because we
had a lot of...
Next.
I've got the same.
I got the same one, but it's higher on my list, so we're going to talk about it later.
Mine's better.
All right, so I guess we're going to
so
jump
Call
right
Me
into
By
it.
Your Name is your guys' favorite movie.
Absolutely.
Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Oh, stop it.
Way to go.
Stop. All right, so I guess we're just jumping into this. All right, so Dave is ready to go. All right. My number 5 is a movie called Lady Bird. Lady Bird is my number 5. This movie took me by surprise, which is like the theme of this podcast. Took me by surprise. Saoirse Ronan, I think, was a breath of fresh air, similar to Zoe Kazan. Is that her name? And Zoe Kazan. This is on YouTube, guys, so they can see you. Yeah, in The Big Sick.
Yeah, another one.
Breath of fresh air. Just Laurie Metcalf. Is that her name from Roseanne?
Yeah.
She was outstanding in this movie. Yeah, this is just I'm big into coming of age tales, which you noticed on this podcast. I just
me too.
Again, this isn't a masterpiece, I wouldn't call it, but at the same time, I can't find anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why it kind of resonated with me. It's got great comedy. Like it's just like it's a funny movie without being a comedy. Like I can see it being nominated for Best Picture. I can see Saoirse Ronan getting nominated for Best Actress. If Laurie Metcalf. If Laurie from Roseanne does not get nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I think that's just a total snub, as they call it in the biz. But yeah, I thought this movie was great. I was never bored watching it. I thought it was just outstanding the whole way through. You got a chance to see it, Dave?
Yeah, I saw it. I really enjoyed it. It didn't make my list, but I could absolutely see it being on any person's top list. It was... Of course, the acting was great in this, and the story was good too. And it did a thing that I guess what 3 Billboards did, we talked on earlier. Kind of, it goes into what I really liked about Lady Bird was it dealt with religion in a way that I think was more fair than indie type movies deal with it.
Right.
It's normally like God sucks, God's stupid, and it also had the same thing where. I don't want to give too much away here, but it's about a girl from Sacramento.
Right.
And she hated Sacramento, but what we learn is she doesn't really hate Sacramento.
Yeah.
And it was about, kind of coming home and appreciating the way you grew up.
Yeah, where you came from.
Even though the way you grew up and where you came from wasn't really what you expected for yourself or what you had hoped you would have had. So there's a lot in there about that, and it's impressive that the writing didn't go into that what I think is predictable, which is to rebel against, stupid Sacramento. I'm gonna go off to Harvard or Yale or whatever, and I'm gonna reject my Catholic upbringing.
Yeah, it wasn't your typical like rebellious phase like movie. Like it was just more of just I want to do I want something more.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that what I came from is necessarily terrible or anything like that. Even though at the time of me growing up, it seems that way.
Yeah.
But towards the end, you get the feeling that she's like
I can't reject who I am, which would be what would be required for that sort of story because. This is who I am. I'm from this place. I am this product of this thing. And then at the end, when she goes to the church, she gets a sense of calm and solace.
Yeah, like
and
this is home almost.
It grounds her, and then it makes her think of home. So I thought that was really powerful, and I think that's the best thing I can say about this film is the way it treated those things,
Right.
Because you expect them to be more subversive and more anti-normal, I guess you want to call it. So it didn't do that. So for an indie film that actually plays to tradition in a sense, I thought was really good.
Definitely, yeah. That was a great explanation there. Can't hate on that. Vinny, did you get a chance to see it, or?
I did not, but I'm a fan of the coming of age story.
Yeah,
actually, one of the most underrated ones to me is Spectacular Now
Spectacular Now. What's that?
with Miles Teller
I did not see that.
and Cheyenne Woodley.
No, when was that? When did that come out? Sorry, bro.
Didn't see
Hey,
it
you
either.
didn't see Lady Bird, so come
Look
on.
up the Spectacular Now. It's
Okay.
one of the best coming of age stories you'll see.
Okay.
It's under the radar.
Yeah,
For
All
sure.
right, yeah. Well, I'll have to check that out.
But no, I'll check out Lady Bird.
Worth a watch for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah.
So it's no place like home kind of story then.
Yeah,
I mean, you're kind of giving something away.
in a way. I mean, like you
But
said,
in a-
like I like how
it's
it wasn't
not-
like a
yeah.
typical, like you said, or like I said, a rebellious movie.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't your typical.
It is,
thing
but
like
it's
that.
not.
Yeah.
So it's not Best Picture like everyone's talking about, or
I mean, it could be. I mean, obviously, it's my number 5, so I don't think so.
I could see Ben having it at number 5. I don't have it on mine. I could see it being in the conversation. For me, it wasn't. It's not my kind of movie, but it's a good movie.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
Agree.
It's very well
Definitely
done,
check it
well
out. I'll check it
executed,
out.
well
I'll check it
acted, and it may affect you in a different way. But yeah, I really liked the direction it took. So
Well, and also, sorry, I like
Yeah.
that, some of the, she's a teenager, so it's like you kind of don't take them seriously just because it's like there's other problems in the world. Like, what do we have to,
Yeah.
what do we have to worry about you for? But even she says in the film, like, when she gets sad about something and someone, her counterpart, I think her boyfriend or whatever, her lover, or whatever you want to call it, says like, there's a war going on. She said, other things can be sad too. It's not just all war.
yeah, that's a good line.
I
Yeah.
love that line.
This
'cause
takes
it's like-
place during the run up to and start of the Iraq War in 2003.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
like
okay,
right after
okay.
9/11, kind of.
Yeah.
Interesting that
couple
they
years
picked that
after.
timeline.
It is
Yeah,
an
exactly, yeah,
interesting- It's
definitely.
got to be semi-autobiographical, is my guess. But
Yeah,
I
no,
don't-
but yeah, I just love that aspect of it. Is just like, it's true. Like, yeah, obviously there's bigger things going on, but like my life matters too, and
Yeah.
I can be sad about this thing as well as this other stuff that's going on.
yeah, it's like when your parents say, "Well, there are children starving in Africa." Well, they may be, but I'm still sad. It's
Right,
like, and that doesn't
exactly.
change
Yeah,
that. you know?
exactly. I
It's
like
kind of the way it was.
good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Dave, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is a movie I will bet $1 million that neither one of you have this on your list. I think this is a movie that probably I'm the only one that really likes this much, and it's part of a series that I really like. My number 5 is Alien Covenant.
Okay. I did not see
Okay.
it, so
Yeah.
I can't.
It's not on my list, but I actually liked it a lot.
This is sort of a wild card for me. I really like this movie, and what I like about this movie is it deals with the big stuff, the really important questions about humanity. It wasn't executed perfectly, and it's definitely scary. It's certainly a horror movie, but if you start from Prometheus and move through this, and actually if you go even further back to Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, he deals with this thread of a question of dealing with how does the created deal with their creator? How do these two have their interaction? And you have replicants in Blade Runner, obviously, and this one you have these disgusting monsters in here, but was also in David is sort of a replicant himself. And how does he look back at Wayland? I don't know. I mean, I'll look at something like 3 Billboards, and it's a great human story, but I also like the big questions, which is these sort of things.
The unknown,
How do you deal
almost.
with a god? If I am a god, what does that make me? And how does that person lesser than me look at me? And how is that relationship? Even though this film it's a beautiful film, but it's sort of it's a scary monster movie.
Right.
But in there are very deep questions. So you need to watch this film.
I know. I do want to check
Wait,
it
you've
out.
never seen Alien
I have
Covenant?
not seen it yet. Nope.
It's really good.
And I really liked
it's good.
Prometheus and everything, but
I was one of the
just haven't
people.
checked it
I
out
was
yet.
one of the people like him that enjoyed it, man. I thought Michael Fassbender.
Oh, he's incredible in this movie.
The only thing with it kind of does feel like 2 movies. Like it kind of feels like he's just like, let me satisfy the Alien fans with this, and the second half he's like, let me satisfy the Prometheus.
Yeah, it's true.
And it kind of feels like two movies in one.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really don't like about it. But dude, it is good, man. It is really good. And like you said, with the creator, like the first scene where he's talking to Waylon. What's the guy's first name?
Waylon's first name? I don't know. It's escaping me now.
Anyway, but Guy Pearce, that scene with him when he first creates him, he's like, "Why did you create me?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Cause I can." Yeah,
And
basically.
then David realizes that he's like, or something like, "You're gonna die, but I don't die. So
Yeah.
you made me, but I'm superior to you."
Dude, I'm
Oh
actually
wow,
glad,
I didn't realize they got.
I'm
into
actually
that.
glad you put that on your list because I
And
left that
this
off.
is Blade Runner. So this is a thread that has actually I've
so
been
it's like
unable to
Blade
get
Runner,
out
you
of
mean?
my brain, because in Blade Runner there's Tyrell who makes Roy
Tyrell,
Batty,
yeah.
and Roy Batty looks down on Tyrell and considers himself superior to the man who made him. And this actually happens again in Alien Covenant. So it's really weird. And then David goes off into his own. He tries to make his own creation, which is a grotesque, disgusting monster of a thing. And it's
But he still made it.
he made it.
He made something.
So
He made something.
he fails as the creator, because he's not able to exceed himself, which what Wayland actually does for him. He makes something better than himself, but David makes this gross, awful creature who just only wreaks destruction.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of, for a movie that didn't perform well, and now they're
So you
saying they
didn't
might
know
not
that,
make,
but okay.
they might not even
Spoiler alert.
they might not even make another Alien now because
I
of how
really
bad
hope
it
they
did.
do.
And I love Ridley Scott, and I hope they can somehow do something else and get someone else to make another movie. But there's a lot of philosophy behind Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So that's what I was saying by the big question. So even though you have this sort of scary horror movie that is beautiful, like all Ridley Scott movies are beautiful, there's a lot of deep stuff in here. So for me, yeah, even though like I said, it didn't do very well, and it probably got crapped on by a lot of people. This one is in my list. So
I saw it twice,
man.
man. I saw it twice. I'm actually two of the most underrated performances of the year. That the
Underrated
Oscars, that the Oscars are gonna underlook is Michael Fassbender in Alien.
He's amazing.
And James McAvoy in
Yes,
Split.
I know.
Oh, Split, yeah.
Dude,
Split.
James McAvoy, that was like one of the best. They're going to overlook that.
Yeah, because
But
it
dude,
came out in
Fassbender-
January. That's what I don't like about this stuff. It's
Yeah,
like
but Split, that's another conversation.
January
but,
movies
but
will not get
Fassbender
recognition.
plays two different androids, bro.
And done.
And he legit walks different.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hey, don't give me.
No, it's. I'm pretty sure they gave that away in the trailer. No,
No, it's
I mean, he gave away
well,
more than that.
Yeah, I did. I probably gave away too much, but
he plays two different
it's
androids.
two different androids. Yeah.
And
You gotta see this
David
film.
and
Yeah.
something else, and they actually walk different.
Henry
they
or
talk different.
Something. It's something like that.
They walk different.
What?
they
So
talk
did
different.
David make the aliens?
No, he's.
Yeah.
Well, it's yeah.
Well, we'll get to that
We'll get to
when I
that.
watch
But
it.
anyway, they have a scene together. Fassbender on.
They put them together in the same screen. Yeah,
Ooh.
I think one's a little taller, one's a little shorter.
Dude, how'd you
Okay.
not see Covenant?
I don't
by now?
know. I just
It's
haven't yet. I
really-
just haven't.
It's
Really
good.
good.
I'm happy you put that on the list because I totally forgot about that, and it reminded me of Split for underrated performance because James McAvoy's amazing.
Yeah, I will admit this
Well,
is.
and it's funny because X-Men, they're both X-Men,
yeah, right.
Magneto and
Dude,
Professor X.
And them two made First Class
Yeah,
one of the best X-Men movies ever. so.
definitely.
I like Fassbender better in here, but this one is certainly my. This is a personal pick. That's beyond. This is what I personally really like because it deals in those questions that they're larger than human type of thing. So I
Yeah.
like getting into that. It's just same as Blade Runner. So yeah, I'm done. Number 5.
Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Vinny, what's your number 5?
Last Jedi.
All right, we can talk about it. Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Which
What did you have?
check out our last Jedi episode.
Mine was 6. What was it? Was 7?
Mine was 7. Yes.
Last Jedi was 7, yours was 6, and
Yeah.
mine was 5.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
All right. So I
Right
mean,
there.
we're not too far off. So that's cool.
Last Jedi. First time I saw it, in shock. Didn't go the way I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for anyone listening now, we also have
Yeah.
an episode on this. So.
Yeah, we have an episode where we,
I thought you were going to say spoiler.
No. Well, we're semi-spoiler.
But hey, catch me back at 2 weeks ago. No, but yeah, spoiler alert too.
yeah, definitely.
First time I saw it, couple things shocked me. Second time I saw it, I loved it, man.
yeah.
Third time I saw it, I loved it even more. There's some problems with it. You know, a lot of people texting me bombs didn't drop the right way. You know, Leia's floating in space,
That's
which
nonsense.
is what you do in space. You know, you float. Well,
that scene could have been handled a little.
it could have been handled less corny.
Yeah.
And dude, she honestly could have, closed a couple doors. I actually came up with the idea myself that she could have kind of like force pushed a couple blasters away.
Yeah.
Which would have been really cool.
And we talked about that too, where she would have sort of a force something that created like a sphere around herself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Yeah.
do
But the
that.
second time I watched it, it worked with the music for me. And I kind of accepted it for what it was.
It's nice to see Leia do something.
Right.
Dude,
Something
this is
like
Darth
that.
Vader's daughter, bro.
I know, yeah.
How can she not do anything?
This is what I talked about.
I was
in the
like, it
episode.
took him this long
Yeah.
to actually show her use the Force. To me, I love that.
Yeah.
I loved it. Bro.
I want to
Well,
see a Leia spin-off movie where
Dude,
she's doing her
I'm
own
down.
thing
Well,
and she's doing stuff
I'm
like
down.
that.
I was thrilled that
Darth
they.
Vader's daughter, bro.
I know.
She needs to be doing some
I
crazy
agree.
shit.
I was thrilled that they even showed her do something in Force Awakens when Han Solo died. Spoiler alert! When Han Solo died, like
How
when
dare
she
you.
like felt it, like that. I was
Like,
I was
right?
excited
Like a
to see
couple
that. So
mountains
like
fall
for
or
them to go a
something.
step
Yeah.
further in Last Jedi, like it's like I
Yeah.
appreciate it, but again, the
Yeah.
execution was just
Carrie
I love-
Fisher just broke down as a human being.
Dude,
so.
right.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried on their scene together. I think Luke went out like
Luke-
a G.
oh, yeah,
I
Luke-
think
the
Luke
Luke
went out
and
like a
Leia.
straight up G.
That was amazing.
How did
Yeah.
you want him to go out? You want Kylo to kill him? No,
that was
He went out
fantastic.
with a G
Yeah.
on his own terms and saving everybody in the process.
It was beautiful.
Snoke, that fight, dude, that fight scene
Yeah,
with
that
Kylo
throne
and
room
Rey.
scene.
I didn't like what happened before
The
fight,
background with
but-
the red, dude. You didn't like Snoke dying?
Well, I didn't like that. Well, I don't want to get into it.
I basically
He's
loved
exhausted, everything.
90% of the movie besides the Finn and Rose.
Right.
was
yeah.
terrible.
So,
right?
storyline, which
Cut
was
it out.
this-
Could have
this
saved us 20
animal, abuse. Let me let go of the animals for no reason. Just storyline that was on a stupid planet.
They need to be in the
If
movie.
there was a better sideline story, it probably would have been. And honestly, I still think it might be one of the best Star Wars movies of all time.
Well, what's their plot? They're going to go and then get themselves on the main First Order ship and then mess with the code. It's like it's so
Benicio del
convoluted
Toro
and
was-
nonsensical.
They actually made it so the First Order found out that they were going to that planet.
Another,
Like,
dude,
that's
I should have came on.
Then
the
it all-
Force
it's all
Awakens,
rendered
or
moot.
the
Right.
Last Jedi review.
It's a stupid plan, and then they figured it out ahead of time. So
We got to introduce this kid that's at the end, so let's have them go on
Yeah.
this fun adventure. But no,
There's
I mean,
Phasma.
let's
They,
talk about.
They
I mean,
didn't
this
do
is,
it just for the broom.
This
kid.
is yeah. I mean, this is
'Cause
all
they
on.
coulda just do that
This
anyway.
is all on our top 10. So let's talk about the positive again. This is I love the stuff that was the good stuff
Positive
in this
is
movie
99%
was
of the movie for me.
Yeah,
The positive. And
yeah, I mean,
and the way they described the Force.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, bro? That
Yeah.
was the most visual,
Yeah,
realistic
exactly.
way to describe the Force ever that they've ever
for some
described
reason,
it.
For some reason, the third time I saw this movie, which is I've seen it 3 times now, the third time I saw this movie is really when that gripped me was when how they
Bro.
described the Force
Was the
like the way
best
Rey
time they've
was
ever
feeling
described
it.
it.
Like,
Yes.
what do you feel? Like the way she was seeing it all. I love
life,
that.
Death.
Yeah, life, death, yeah,
everything.
decay.
it's not just about midichlorians.
Yeah, exactly.
I could have dealt
Midichlorians.
without the milk scene. You know.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, there's obviously
I'll
silly
take what
moments.
I can get.
That's why, yeah, I mean, it's number 7 on my list.
I
But
really
at the
like
same time,
Yoda.
I loved it. I loved
Dude,
the Yoda
Puppet
stuff.
Puppet Yoda. Are
It's
you kidding
brilliant.
me?
It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
It
so
was, dude, it was gangster.
again,
And
you can hear everything I said about it on our Last Jedi review
Anyway.
episode.
Please listen.
But
Anyway, you're getting me hyped. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
number 5 for a reason. I
Good
think
call.
it's one of the best.
Highest of the 3.
I like the gutsiness of it. Like I like that they
Dude, that
expanded.
movie had balls.
Yeah, they expanded
It took
the
risks.
they expanded the mythology of the Force,
It
which
needs to change.
and again, Luke Skywalker is saying he changed. Like, oh, it's not Luke Skywalker. That's so different. Like,
Bro,
if I'm the same
it's 30
person,
years
if
later.
if I'm the same person 30 years from now, God help us all.
and he went through a lot of crap in those 30 years.
Right.
You know, including you with his dad and everything else.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
the dude's going to change.
I'm really glad we all had it in our top 10. I'm just shocked that I have it the lowest out of all 3 of us.
Oh my!
I had it
But,
number 5. And honestly, if I saw it one time when we had this podcast, it might not even be on here.
Really?
Yeah. I've never had a movie change on second viewing so much as The Last Jedi.
So moving on, you got number 4.
My number 4. Did you have anything else to say about Let's Jedi?
No, it's a great call. No,
No, I
I feel like we're gonna spend half the
No,
time
yeah, we
on
will, we
Star
will.
Wars. So, yeah.
So my number 4.
There's
Oh,
one.
sorry. So
Yes.
my number 4 is Baby Driver. Baby Driver, which you had at what?
Number 8.
Number 8. Okay, so did you get a chance to see this? No, you didn't get a chance to see it.
What a good movie.
What? It's so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. I just, that opening shot, that whole car chase scene was just outstanding. Just, I love how the music was incorporated.
Yeah, with the headphones, and he's got the hearing thing, and it's so cool. And just the way he lives his life, I don't know.
Yeah.
This was another one that was unexpected for me.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to be a very good movie, but it really was. It was a nice action, crime, sort of, that kind of movie, you know?
And I liked Jamie Foxx a lot more than I thought I would in this movie. Like, because I'm not a big Jamie Foxx guy, to be honest. Huh?
He's hit or miss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like,
And Horrible Bosses, he was funny.
Yeah, Horrible Bosses, he was good.
I think I like Jamie Foxx and everything, honestly.
Really? Yeah, so you're a Jamie Foxx guy.
And
Yeah,
I liked Miami Vice.
I mean, I don't hate him, but
Collateral.
it's
Collateral.
just... I'm not like going to seek...
Yeah.
I'm never going to seek out a movie of his, but this movie just, he took me by surprise. But yeah, it's just fun. Like, again, this isn't a movie, I know it's not going to get nominated for Best Picture or anything, but it's just
a nice movie.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'll be...
Well, now
that
Kevin Spacey's in it might not.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
yeah, I mean, there's
anything
politics.
with his name on it is like...
I mean, honestly, the politics are definitely going to be involved in the Oscars. It always is.
But I like when he's got the older man that he's taking care of, that sort of thing,
yeah.
and then he meets the girl in the diner, and it's sort of a nostalgic feel to the film, but also it's happening, now.
Yeah.
In some ways, I couldn't tell what time, place, or what time period this thing was taking of, because I was like, well, this feels like maybe the 90s, or
just because of the music he was listening to, or
well, that plus
I kind of took it that it was today.
It definitely was today. I think you were just talking about like it, like it was almost like timeless in a way that just the music was.
But then he also has older iPods.
Yeah,
right?
that was interesting.
He's got a whole series of iPods that are loaded with different kinds of music. And so, but it takes place now, but it feels like it's taking place in the early 2000s, sort of, and just because of the technology that he's using.
Yeah,
the older iPods hold more gigabytes.
No, to be honest, I mean,
and then he's doing the record player, I think, with the guy he's watching or something like that. And it's just a cool...
Yeah.
It's just a really cool movie. It's not deep, I don't think.
No, it's not deep. You're never bored in this movie.
Exactly.
Thing. Like, it's just so entertaining. Like,
it's just a nice action film with good character development and a nice story. John Hamm is in this.
Yeah, it's got heart even.
Yeah.
Like, it's got heart. Yeah, like you said, him taking care of the old man and everything. You were talking about him with the girl in the diner. Like, I love that scene with Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, like Sunday morning. Like,
so
when that song comes up, it's like, man, this is good. Like, usually, you say style over substance. Like, here, like, it's definitely stylistic and the music, like, goes perfectly with it. This, like, the style is the substance in this movie.
Exactly.
I think. Like, and that's fine with me. Like,
and it takes a second to kind of get used to the film, I think. Because he's... The main character is in his earbuds almost at all times. He's got a hearing condition,
right?
Because he was in we find out he's in an accident when he was a kid.
Right, he has a constant ringing.
So he's basically always playing music, and he kind of goes through life that way. So you're experiencing it as he does, and it's a bit jarring at first, and then you get used to it, and you really kind of like this character, and it's really good.
I'd say it's like the Kingsman of this year. Like when Kingsman came out in 2014, I think it was. Like it's like the fun, like it's like that fun.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's a great comparison and a great call.
So yeah, Baby Driver is my number 4 movie there. Love this movie and just had so much fun with it. Yeah, definitely check it out. Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, great call. My number 4 is Logan.
Hey, that's my number 4.
Oh, look at you guys. Look at you guys.
This didn't make your list?
Napolitano.
I had to keep it off.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, you didn't have Logan on your whole list?
I didn't have it on my list.
Are you kidding? Hey.
All right.
What an idiot.
This is what I go to about movies hit you in a certain way depending on what mood you're in. To be honest, when I saw this movie, at like 10. It was like 10:20 showtime. I was so tired. I ate so much popcorn.
He's like, I know it belongs, but I
I was full. I was burping over popcorn. And
I had the
like
I really
cold outside.
I really loved this movie.
I had to pee.
What are you gonna say about it, Dave? I'm not even gonna make excuses. What are you gonna say about it?
Well, this movie was the most pleasant of surprises for me because
for sure.
I like Wolverine. I like the older Netflix movies. I didn't like the reboot, to be quite honest. The Bryan Singer movies.
Which reboot?
All the Bryan Singer ones. First Class.
Oh, you didn't like. Apocalypse kind of sucked.
Isn't
it just First Class on Apocalypse?
First Class, Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
which-
Oh, dude, Days of Future Past was pretty. You know,
See,
Days of Future Past was overrated to me.
So these ones,
Yeah.
well, I'll say quickly what I don't like about them is that I end up saying, okay, let's just kill all the mutants. Because they seem to be
start over.
always causing problems. And
Right? Yeah, you're like, I'm the government.
yeah, so can we please kill all these
problem
people?
solved in
yeah.
Logan.
yeah. Right, well, yeah, so we get into that, but it's just such a gritty, it's almost like a Western in
It's
a sort
totally
of
a
way.
Western, bro.
And you get Xavier in a way that you don't expect. You get all these characters, and it's so, I don't know, it's a standalone. Yeah, it's so
It's real.
real. And then they,
For a mutant movie, some dude that spits out knives out of his hands.
Right,
It
yeah.
was real.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, dude, if I watched it, I'd be like, I felt like it was today. You know? Like,
yeah,
it was-
exactly.
It was made that well.
this thing is, it could have been, this movie could have been an origin and end story for this character.
Could have been
Because
both,
it
yeah.
was so well done and just shot so well. It was so gritty. And then I love Xavier. I don't like the James McAvoy version of Xavier. I really like Patrick
really don't?
Stewart. No,
I mean, I love Patrick Stewart too, and
I think
him
he's-
in this movie. Oh my god.
he's incredible. And
Yeah.
you feel if you favor the Patrick Stewart Dr. X, you will flip
Oh.
out on this movie because you get the best. You get that same acting on him. He's like, oh, he can't like.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's what he's doing through
Yeah.
most of the movie because he can't control what's going on. He's like kind of losing his head. It's such a good film. I feel like if I talk more about it, I'm going to spoil it. But I
Yeah, we
really
can't talk about X-23 enough, too, man. Like, she
was really
came
good,
in
yeah.
and killed
yeah.
it. And I think this is Hugh Jackman's best performance.
I'm not even a
as-
big
as,
Hugh Jackman fan
as Wolverine,
per se.
no.
Yeah, but yeah.
And I love how
this is by far his best
I
performance.
mean,
of Wolverine.
I don't want to give it away, but one of the main villains is, I think, great. I think the way they did that,
Yeah.
like with what happens, I think they did that great. And dude, I actually watched the. Did you ever watch it in black and white?
No.
Because if you buy it on Blu-ray, it comes in black and white.
Oh, really? I could see it working well.
Yeah.
Dude, it works good.
Well,
Yeah.
that is the best trailer of the year by far with the Johnny Cash song.
Oh, it's yeah.
just good.
But
God.
the director said
Yeah.
that he wanted to make a black and white version, and
That would have been nice.
the scene with the family and like at the house and everything
Yeah.
is almost like a horror movie in black and white.
It's-
crazy. In black and white, it's nuts.
It's very unsettling.
There's a couple dark, like the way they film is maybe a little too dark with the
Yeah.
black and white, but it works. And I actually loved it so much. I watched it like 5 times that I watched it in
wow.
black and white just to get like the difference, the way the different vibe that it gives, and it gives it more of a darker feel.
Right.
This is a phenomenal movie.
I love that you don't have to have seen any of the
No,
other.
you can
like,
approach
it's a
it
total
blind, yeah.
standalone movie. Like it's a guy who's trying to like pay for his past sins in a way. He doesn't like the way his old life was, trying to redeem himself a little. He's gone
And he
down this
does,
dark path. And just beautiful. Yeah.
Such a good film.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Did not expect this one. I did not expect to like this thing that much. I thought it'd be pretty good. And this blew me away.
Also, the rated R, like because it's the first rated R.
Yeah.
Whatever, it wasn't forced.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it feel more real.
Yeah.
It made
for
it feel
sure.
more real, but yeah, I mean,
Like
at
this
the same
dude's
time,
not dropping F-bombs.
that's not
every-
why it's great.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It actually works. It makes
Yeah.
it better, in my opinion.
There's stuff with the children, and Wolverine he's good at heart. At his deepest core, he's a good person. And I think
Right.
Jackman shows that. Even though
Jackman shows.
I'm pissed and I'm angry and I'm furious, but I'm not going to hurt an innocent, that kind of thing. You know, his anger is directed always in the right way, usually, mostly in the right way. And, God, what a good film. So,
Yeah.
I don't want to say any more because I feel like I said, if I'm going to talk more on it, I'm going to end up spoiling something. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone.
I mean, this is another one that Patrick Stewart, like, I know he won't in a million years, but he definitely should be considered for Best Supporting Actor for
You
it.
think so, Mr. Not have on my top 10?
It doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean
so great, so great.
I didn't have it on my top 10. I still love that movie. Again,
Yeah,
it
it was
just didn't resonate with me.
All
But that
right.
was your number 4. Did you have anything else to say about it? As well, Vinny?
both our
It's a
number
good choice,
fours.
yeah. It's a phenomenal
you guys,
choice.
all right. So that was your number 4 as well. So
Yeah.
my number 3. We ready for this, guys?
Is what?
The Disaster Artist. My number 3 is The Disaster Artist.
I had
James
number
Franco.
10.
Oh, that was your number 10. What
Yep.
That was my number 7.
was it?
Disaster Artist.
I could have swore you had it higher. But anyways, yeah, my number 3 is The Disaster Artist. James Franco, Seth Rogen, Dave Franco. Even this movie, I want to watch it over and over again. Like as soon as it was over when I first saw it, I was just like, let's put that on again. Like it's so fun because I mean it's obviously comes from The Room, which was this like it's known as like the best worst movie ever made with Tommy Wiseau as the star, the director, the producer, the
everything.
Yeah, exactly, the everything. And it's just so terrible that it's good. And James Franco plays an uncanny version of him, which I never saw James Franco in this role. Like it was just like he never broke his accent. Like he never he was this guy this whole time. Even if it wasn't 100%, perfect imitation. Like he never broke. Like usually when people do accents, like you said with Idris Elba, and I think in our last episode, like his accent broke a couple times. Like James Franco never broke that. Like he was so believable with it. It's just such a joyful film, but it's not like the slapstick comedy which you would expect it to be. Like it's actually something you could see. Well, I could see James Franco getting nominated for an Oscar for this, which he probably will.
I hope he does. Sure.
Just because
I think that's kind of stretching it, but
I mean, he will. I mean, honestly,
I put money. If I could put money down, I bet you.
Yeah, because I mean, he's already been nominated for the Golden Globe. He's been nominated for the SAG Award, which is more than a Golden Globe. History has shown he's gonna get nominated for an Oscar. I mean, whether you think he should or not, he will be. Yeah.
Well, I'm not the chooser, but
I know. But
I like this movie a lot. The only thing I will say, it just feels at some point
it's
it
your
feels.
number 10, bro.
Yeah, my number 10. Yeah, this one feels.
I'm glad it's on your list at least.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
This movie feels just a bit like it's trying a little too hard.
Okay.
And I feel like I need to be laughing a little too hard at the jokes.
Yeah.
Because I know The Room and I'd laugh at The Room, but then it's like, well, what am I watching here? So it's a guy making fun of a movie that sucked, and now I'm going to laugh at him making fun of a movie. It becomes like a little bit too meta.
Yeah.
It becomes that James Franco thing where you're like, okay, this guy's like kind of too much here.
Yeah.
So I feel that in a couple of instances in the movie. And then most of it, I'm laughing my ass off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I actually thought the opposite of you because I was down with The Room. It was hilarious. Saw it one time, laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
But I saw two dudes making a movie. Like he was that good. Where I didn't think it was a parody at all.
The only thing I didn't like is the beginning with the friendship. I thought they could have moved that along.
No, dude. I don't know. I think that was one of the most important parts about it. And Dave Franco, dude, threw me off. Dave Franco,
yeah, he was better than I thought he would
James
be.
Franco,
Yeah.
I've always loved James Franco. Like 127 Hours, one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
But
Spring Breakers, I know you like that.
Franco, dude, I love Spring Breakers. Hey, for those out there who haven't seen Spring Breakers, have you seen Spring Breakers?
I have not. I'm pretty mixed on James
Franco on a piano singing Britney Spears. That's all you need to know. But Dave Franco threw me out. He surprised me. But yeah, I didn't think it was a period at all. I felt that, and honestly, after I watched it, I was at my feels at the end. I felt inspired. You start thinking about your dreams, man. Like, did you not? Did you not think you were capable of anything? These are dudes that made one of the worst. No, dude, these are dudes with the
capable of what? This guy has some kind of. He's obviously some kind of illegal money pit that he cannot exhaust. I feel like if I had a spare $10 million, I'd make a better movie than this guy.
Somebody died and he inherited.
It's still in your top 10 though. So
no, it is. Dude, but I feel like
this guy's in it, and he made a movie that's in your top 10 right now of a movie that's freaking horrible.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the ideas.
That's talking about a dream that came true. Tommy Wiseau will be at the Oscars this year when James Franco gets nominated. Call that succeeding, bro.
Well, that's what's crazy. That's one of the reasons. That's another reason I love it so much.
Because you're capable of anything, even if you fail. You're capable of anything. You can be at the freaking Oscars.
That might be a little misleading.
But it's not misleading.
But
this story
that's one of the reasons I love it so much, because it's like this movie that's been around it came out like 2003 or something.
Yeah.
Been around for 14 years. It's been known as a terrible movie, the worst movie ever made. But at the same time, here we are 14 years later.
It's best
a movie about it is now Oscar worthy, which is
that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
But this movie's not going to be nominated for Best Picture because
no.
But dude, even before this movie came out, this guy's making so much money at midnight screenings
Yeah,
and everything else.
Yeah.
Dude, well, they said he broke even. Which
it's ironically a success story, which is
it is a success story in my opinion.
It's crazy because even if this movie didn't come out,
one of the best success stories I've ever heard of.
Even if this movie didn't come out,
especially if James Franco becomes
no,
the best
you've heard
actor.
of better. You've heard of George Lucas who made Star Wars, so that's a better success story.
George Lucas making Star Wars.
Tommy Wiseau is not the best success story you've ever heard. I know that's not true.
Dude, it is because he failed and it
worst.
became a success. That's what makes it a success, dude.
It's a success because we're laughing at him. So.
We're laughing at him, but it's still your number 10, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's a success.
Well, The Room is in number 10. The Disaster Artist is number 10.
Exactly. And without The Room, there wouldn't be a Disaster Artist.
I think
because James Franco loved The Room so much is because Disaster Artist came out. That's success, bro.
My one critique on it was I think the concept is slightly better than the execution. It just the movie kind of got bogged down.
Yeah, again, it's not going to get nominated for Best Picture.
It's not a great movie.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it.
I just loved it,
and I'm glad it came out.
That's why it's my number 3.
Glad I saw it.
I had so much fun watching this.
It's a unique movie and a kind of a meta humor movie, which I enjoyed. So
yeah, definitely.
It deserves to be on the list for sure.
Had a blast watching.
I'm just not going to say it's the whole thing is great. That's all.
Hey, we understand. We understand. But yeah, what a blast this movie was. So yeah, that's my number 3, Disaster Artist. Dave, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is I, Tonya.
Oh,
You
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you see it?
I saw it in the theater.
What theater, bro?
The theater in my house.
I've been trying to catch this movie for a minute.
I saw it as well. I saw it. Did not make my list, but yeah, that is
this movie. This was a very pleasant surprise. Margot Robbie is amazing in this movie, and I think she deserves an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, I think she'll get one. Yeah,
she is so good. She is not just a pretty face. Actually, she's kind of an ugly face. This movie so is like Tonya Harding. And she just goes through this whole thing of, someone who has a really crappy childhood and they have a specific talent and then they get involved with the wrong person. This movie just grabbed me because it's a real story.
Right.
That is the truth is better than fiction in this instance.
Right, yeah, definitely.
The fact that this actually, and I think we're all probably a little bit too young for all of this, but the fact that this thing really happened is kind of mind-blowing. And to tell the true story, it's nuts.
Right.
And we get Allison Janney, right?
Oh, Allison Janney was great in this.
Incredible. Yeah. That's her mom. It's the horrible.
I think she should win Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah. You get the story. You get through Tonya Harding's eyes, sort of, and she never really takes responsibility. But you're sympathetic to her. And you get her husband, Jeff Gillooly, and all this nonsense, what we do to Nancy Kerrigan. I just really love this movie. This movie just grabbed me from minute 1 all the way to the end. I did not want to turn it off when it was over. I was still thinking about it. So, really, really, really good movie. And I hope Margot Robbie wins something for this movie.
I don't think she'll win. I do think she'll be nominated. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought this was a fantastic film. You don't think
she'll be nominated?
No, I think she'll be nominated. I don't think she'll win. But yeah, I think this is fantastic. Again, Margot Robbie, especially at the end, the emotion she was showing, the way she was conveying that. I thought that was brilliant, and it's a unique film too. Just the way it was filmed, how
it's sort of like they're recreating documentary footage, and then recreating also like live broadcast footage, and then it's also interspersed with just regular like feature footage.
Right.
It's really well done.
It's got a lot of comedy to it, but it's almost, it makes you, which you never thought you would, it almost makes you feel sympathetic.
It's funny because it's so nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole situation is so insane to create this thing that happened, and then the people around them are nuts, and you feel sympathetic to her, but she also is like, that's not my fault. Well, it's clearly your fault.
It's clearly your fault.
Right? We know it's your fault. But you feel bad for her because you know that there's these people around her that are doing these things that are kind of influencing her decisions.
Right. Yeah. Wow, I'm surprised to see this so high in your list. I mean, I liked this movie a lot.
I know. I didn't think I would love it as much as I did, but I really love this film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Again, I think the acting is the best part of this movie. Allison Janney, even Sebastian Stan as her husband was great.
As Gillooly, he's so good. He's good in everything, really.
Winter Soldier,
exactly. Yep. So yeah, that was great choice, man. Yeah, number 3, great choice.
Vinny, what do you got for number 3?
What do you got number 3?
Number 3 for me, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. All right, yeah, that was my number 8.
Damn.
I haven't had
one.
time to digest it. As of this recording, I saw it last night. So
Shape of Water has my best actress of the year.
Oh wow.
Best score of the year.
oh, the score, yeah,
Best makeup of the year for sure.
yeah.
Nominee for cinematography of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's getting nominated for Best Picture,
Dude,
maybe Best Director.
That
I
good,
love
huh?
Shape of Water. Dude, Shape of Water is
Haven't seen
really
it yet.
unique. Really unique. Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo?
Good job.
Guillermo, thank you.
Hey, thank
Something
you.
like
The
that.
Italians helping us out over here with the Mexican name.
Guillermo del Toro. Is that
But
how you
anyway,
pronounce
if you're
that?
down for weird movies, if you're listening right now and you like Pan's Labyrinth or Crimson Peak, weird stuff, you'll dig it.
Yeah.
My wife hated it.
I
She
mean-
didn't hate it. The weird thing is when we got in the car, she goes, "It was too weird for me, but she should win Best Actress," is what she said.
That's kind of what
She
my
goes-
wife said too. Yeah, she said she thought it was very weird, but she still at the same time couldn't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, Michael Shannon's great.
Oh, Michael Shannon.
Dude, Michael Shannon's buck wild. He's Michael Shannon times 10.
He's good
Yeah,
always, right?
Yeah.
But he's Michael Shannon. That's
Yeah.
the only, I hope he doesn't become cliche with this roles that
I
he
think
plays.
I think it's too late.
You think it might be too? You think he's pulling
Yeah.
a William
No, he's
Dafoe?
But at the
William Dafoe.
at the
Yeah.
same time, like every scene he was in, I was just like I was
Sucked in.
sucked in.
Sucked
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Well, I need to see this
Couple
now.
scenes, dude. I loved. Like honestly, bro. There's a couple scenes where I legit was sitting in the theater. I was like,
So is this
let me
a
take
love
a picture.
story?
Let me take a
Yeah,
picture.
it's a love story. So yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
love
it's
story.
basically Sally Hawkins plays a janitor. That she's a janitor at like a government facility that is supposed to be top secret.
Right.
And they're experimenting on this.
You get that from the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. They're
there's an
experimenting
alien.
on this humanoids, amphibian type thing. They're experimenting on that, doing and yeah, she is in the room when they first discover it, and it's she
But
forms
the
a
fact-
she
she's
forms
a
a
mute.
relationship with it. That's
She's
what I'll
a
say.
mute, which he left out. She's a mute.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
a mute.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think they-
Which and he's different also. Which,
Yeah, so she's
and
using-
they have this connection because they're both different and they both don't fit in the world.
Gotcha.
She's using sign language the whole movie, which is phenomenal. That you would say that she would be best actress, but yeah,
Dude, you
I
don't
agree.
think she's
No,
top
no.
3 at least?
No.
She doesn't speak.
yeah, she doesn't
She doesn't
speak.
speak the whole movie. Well,
Yep.
one scene, kind of.
Oh, you didn't get that from the trailer.
Really? No, I
think.
think no.
Or
She
did
uses
they?
sign
That's
language
what's
in the
so
trailer,
beautiful
yeah.
about the connection, even though it's alien and human connection, kind of weird for some people, but that's really besides the point, is that she doesn't fit in this world and he does not judge her and she doesn't judge him.
Yeah.
They're just two people that connect because they're
Yeah,
different.
it's got that feel to it.
And dude, there's a couple scenes that are just not to sound corny, but straight beautiful, bro.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
that's
the
not
way the
corny at
music
all.
is, the way the music is. You're sitting there, and I'm just like, man, I'm feeling this score right now.
Yeah.
I'm
The
feeling
score is
this-
amazing.
This cinematography right now.
Yeah,
was
I love
loving
the
it.
colors they use. Like it's just like a green hue.
Oh, it's
the whole
every
movie.
green palette in the world.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
He
just-
dark green, light green, everything's green.
Yeah.
and I actually recently read today that he wanted to do it in black and white,
Really?
and I'm actually happy he didn't.
Yeah, because that green definitely.
Well, green's good because we usually just get blue.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Yeah,
tired of
there's
blue.
this, and there was like almost like they were purposely making green a thing. Like they kept
Yeah.
bringing up green in the movie. Like different things were
yeah.
green. It's like
in
I
that
want
palette.
I want to explore that more just
Yeah.
to see like what the metaphor is. I haven't gotten a chance to really dive deep into that, but yeah, I like it. Like it's a movie that you could, on the surface could think, oh, it's just being weird just to be weird, but that's why I like it because
Nice.
it is kind of strange. It's unique.
But not
Yeah.
everyone will love it.
Yeah,
you can see how
exactly,
people
yeah.
can hate it. Not like mother crazy, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a little out there. There's even a musical number.
yeah, which I liked.
That doesn't- that
Dude,
doesn't help
Victoria
me.
looked at me and she's like, "Really? With this right now? Really?" And I'm like,
serious?
I think I
"I'm
have
into it, bro. I'm
I'm
into it."
into it.
I have that same look.
Yeah, you
That's
get
Yeah.
just so, yeah.
every day of your life.
Oh man.
It's a musical number. What does that mean?
You'll see.
You
You'll have
gotta
to see.
I'm just
You'll have to
warning
see.
you that it's different.
That's not my cup of tea.
It's not mine either.
You like?
but it
Did you
works.
like La La Land?
I like La 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 La, but I also it's different than generally don't like musicals. If you got something to say, just
in the
say it.
context
Don't
of the film, though, you'll see. You'll see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, I will see.
It's not singing musical.
Okay.
It's like a dance.
I don't like dance. I'd rather sing than dance. I hate dance.
Well, we don't.
Well, that's me.
That's just you.
But I will see this movie now. You guys rate it so highly, then I feel like
I rate it as number 3, and you rate it as what?
Number 8. Oh. Yep.
And
which again, I saw it less than 24 or about 24 hours ago since this recording, so I need it. No, absolutely. Oh, you do. Yeah, definitely.
And honestly, like I enjoyed the film to be my number 3, but the fact that it just knocked out so many categories for me.
Yeah.
And it will get nominated Best Picture, but it's not my Best Picture of the year. But it.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's your number 3.
It has a couple security.
It's a great film.
I really think she should win Best Actress.
I will
see it.
I will
Frances
check it out.
McDormand will be more on her up.
Gotta be right,
definitely.
Yeah. But I really think she should win.
All right, so let's get to it. Our next 2 films, I kind of have a feeling they're going to be the same, guys.
I don't know.
All right, my number 2
is
Beauty and the Beast. No, just kidding. My number 2 is. Emoji is Blade Runner 2049.
Dude, do we
Samesies?
2 and 2?
Yeah.
All right, we all have it.
Phenomenal movie.
What do you guys have to say about it?
We did not talk before the show.
No, honestly, yeah, we did not. I don't know. I just had this funny feeling that we would have the same. But yeah.
Actually, when you told me we're gonna have the same 1 and 2, then I knew exactly what you meant by that.
Dude, you must know me. You must know me.
You knew your number 1 and 2.
My number 1 has been clear for
exactly.
Months now, so.
Which we've been in agreement with for a long time. But yeah, number 2, Blade Runner 2049, a sequel, 35 years later.
And if you just to say, we reviewed the original Blade Runner as well as 2049.
Yep, we did. Yeah, we already talked about 2049. We
Vinny, it would be good if you would go ahead and listen to those 2 episodes.
Yeah, if you could listen to those 2 episodes, we'd appreciate
Blade Runner 2049's hands, and I'm just cutting you off. I'm just gonna say one thing: one of the best sequels ever made.
Yeah. No.
35 years later.
Yeah.
It's a lot here to unpack, and I only saw it once in the theater, and I started watching it again. And it's still a lot.
It's so mesmerizing.
It's just, it puts you in. The biggest negative, I guess I'll say, is it makes me depressed. Because the world that it's in is sort of sad.
Yeah, I get you.
Right? There's like a fatalism in this movie that you can't escape. You feel like Kay, where there's no hope.
Right.
Even though there might be hope for somebody else, but there's not for you. And I feel that when I'm watching it. So you have to be in the right mindset. But as a film, it is beautiful and gorgeous and well acted. And again, it takes you into these big questions of life. You know, who am I? Where do I come from? What does this mean?
What does it mean to be human?
Yeah, exactly. And this one gets right into it. It's mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing is right. And Denis Villeneuve is who I was going to mention when I mentioned Taylor Sheridan in the last episode, Who Can Do No Wrong. Denis Villeneuve, good God.
Beautiful.
Sicario, Arrival, and now Blade Runner 2049.
This one didn't do very well in the box office.
No, not at all, which is sad, but at the same time, I kind of like it. Just because I know, okay, this is something special.
Well, the sad part is, at least, and again for Alien, because I know I'm the only one, but the negative to that is that they might not make another one.
Right. Yeah.
Or maybe it might be another.
They're not going to make another Blade Runner.
I honestly don't want them. I don't want them to make another Blade Runner. Like I think this ended perfectly.
I don't need one.
I wouldn't mind just more content to watch.
Yeah,
you know?
Denis Villeneuve's not going to do it.
Then it's getting into MCU territory and even Star Wars at this point. It's like they're just like keep spitting them out.
Solo story, and it gets a little wild.
I like that. This will be the last movie, but at the same time, I wish more people. The only reason I wish it made more money is that just more people appreciated it.
They're not ready. They're not ready to go into the movie theater and get that thing because the way movies have been for so long has been, you're in and out, and it's a big blockbuster, and you're going to get this visually dazzling thing, but we're going to get some kind of like I think of like Avengers, right, or that kind of thing, like a Marvelization of. By visually pleasing, we're talking about very different things with Blade Runner versus Marvel, right?
Right.
We're talking about Totally different. We're not talking action where someone spins around and does a pose. We're talking about going over a scenery, over this ominous score.
Right, yeah.
In this expanse of a thing. And then you go back into a guy into a car and he like...
Was there green screen in this movie? It honestly does not feel like there's green screen anywhere.
It's like a real place,
it's
right?
crazy.
It's like a documentary.
It complements the original so well. Like it almost makes it seem like Blade Runner, which I think it was, but at the same time, like it makes it seem like Blade Runner 1982 was ahead of its time, just in the way that they filmed this.
Oh,
like
hands
they made
down.
it
When
seem
you
like,
watch this now in 2017, you're like, wow, it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like they use like the same technology they used in Blade Runner, like the same special effects, the same scenery and everything. I thought
continue
that was
in
awesome.
the universe, yeah.
Right, exactly. I think that was like the perfect way to do that. And Harrison Ford, I think
it's his best role in years.
Yeah.
When I saw the preview or the trailer when he's like kind of running as an old man, I was like, oh, this is gonna be stupid.
Yeah,
but
he did good.
He blew me away in this movie.
Yeah.
What is that part when he's with Wallace, where he's telling him, you're a program, you're supposed to do this, and just his reaction. It's almost like the Blade. I think I said this a while ago. The Blade Runner pocket is like Harrison Ford's thing. This gruff, masculine guy who's sort of conflicted, and you know it internally. He's so good in the original, and he's so good in this one. I mean, these are like his two best performances ever, really. Other than, you could say there are others, obviously, but you can't knock any of them. He's so good in this.
Well,
because this exceeded his Star Wars one.
Because even Blade Runner 1982, I mean, that's
Star Wars in my opinion.
Blade Runner,
especially the Han Solo in Force Awakens.
Yeah,
this is
what I'm getting at here.
This is his best return to a performance because
definitely not
Indiana Jones was his first one. Then Force Awakens, but I liked him in Force Awakens. But this is him totally coming back.
Yeah,
and I mean him in this role. I mean, and again, they still didn't.
He totally is Deckard.
They totally didn't confirm.
Oh, yeah, he is. You don't see Han Solo.
That's what I'm saying.
And I love that they totally didn't confirm what that suspicion was that we had in the original.
And we kind of think it's...
Yeah, I mean... But I like how they still leave it open-ended.
That he is a replicant?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, even if I say no...
Yes.
Yeah, but Ridley Scott
is the man who made
changes. Yeah, but also he's the guy who made like 15 cuts.
No, I know.
You don't know what he changed his mind on or anything else.
And I also believe in letting the audience, just
exactly. And I like for that reason.
Yeah.
Even though Ridley Scott says what he wants to say in an interview, the movie leaves it ambiguous, which is nice, right? This is what Vinny said in the beginning, or maybe last episode. But it's your interpretation. This is an art.
Yeah.
This is art. You get out of it whatever you perceive, and that's your story on this story. And for this one is
right.
Dude, that fight scene with him and Ryan Gosling in the club.
Yeah,
I love that
great.
scene.
Yeah,
bro. Love that scene. The climax where they're, you know what I'm saying, in the water. You know what I'm talking about?
That was nuts. I feel like I'm gonna drown.
IMAX,
I don't know what's
my
going
last two movies were seen in IMAX.
Yeah.
And that
was terrifying at the end of that movie.
Dude, I legit sat on my seat during that scene and I was like, how did they film this?
I don't know.
Did you ask yourself, how did they film this?
Yeah.
It's so dark
Harrison
and
Ford's
terrifying.
Drowning over here. They're fighting. I was like, where did they film this? In a big ass pool?
Right.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe, because I felt like it was this whole world in the middle of black. Just water in the middle of blackness.
The ocean at night is scary.
It's scary.
Very scary.
And that's what I love.
It's one of my fears. Yeah,
I love that you said that, because that's what I felt during that scene. Ocean in black.
Because you feel like you can be swept away into nothingness.
Nothingness.
And that was the feeling of that.
And the only light was like the inside of the ship.
And then beside that is on the beach in this massive wall.
Yeah,
a seawall.
Yeah,
crazy. The scenery was nuts, and they're living in a place that is literally nuts. No one should be living in this on Earth. We hear about, and that's my disappointment that I said earlier, is that they're not going to make another movie. We don't know anything about off-world. What's off-world? Show me what's going on. I'd love to see that. You create, you world build through both of these movies intently. I can't see it really. You're leaving me on Earth. That sucks. It sucks in the first movie, and it sucks in the second movie. I don't want to live in either place. Off-world is supposed to be great, but and I guess my only really it's not a film making critique, but just my own personal. It makes me a little depressed.
Yeah, No, I would totally see that. But yeah, it's interesting they never show us what actually off-world is.
Well, life's depressing,
it's just this
bro.
idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, life's depressing, bro.
I hope it doesn't get
It wouldn't
worse.
be real if you didn't feel that. No, to be honest.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, I'm
There's
glad.
a guy who watches Black Mirror, you know?
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, I'm glad.
I do it too.
I wasn't surprised that we all had this under number 2, but yeah, I'm glad it resonated with all of us so much.
I can't believe we all three have the same.
I know. I mean, the only thing the movie has against it maybe is its length, but at the same time, like I think it needs it. Like it needs it to build up to that. And
on paper, the length seems long, but when you're in the theater, it doesn't seem long at all to me. So yeah, if the box office got, a lot of people didn't see it because they saw like, oh, this is almost 3 hours, I'm not going. But once you're in there, it's like it does not feel like
exactly.
3 hours.
And like you said, Dave, like I watched it once in the theater. I've started watching it since it came out on digital. I started watching it more and just like I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to watch the whole thing again.
I've watched it a couple times.
But yeah, just everything I've saw again is just like it sucks you in.
How about the scene where homegirl just comes up, dude, with the android girl? I forget her name in the first one. I'm having a mind blank.
Rachel? Yeah, Rachel.
Dude,
yeah.
How about when Rachel shows up?
I know, that's just like amazing technology again.
When Rachel shows up.
Bro.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
the special effects. I thought it was the real actress. I was like, like, did they take anything from the? Is she still alive?
Young?
I started doing research.
She's like 70 years old or something.
Yeah, I was like, did they take? It looked just like.
But yeah,
he's like, she had different color eyes. I was like, oh shit.
But yeah, Ryan Gosling coming off La La Land. I was.
I'm generally blasé about Gosling, and
shut up. Shut your mouth.
Not to toot my own horn, but remember my most anticipated.
What was it? You had 2049 in this.
I had Dunkirk as number 1, and I had Arrival, which was the director and the actor.
Arrival? You mean Blade Runner 2049? Arrival was Denis Villeneuve. You probably meant.
The director of my number 1 was La La Land, which was Ryan Gosling.
Look at you. Look at you.
All
right, folks. Guys.
Should we get to number 1?
It's my turn, but should we just all say it at the same time? Because I'm pretty sure. Let's just all say it at the same time.
I just worried about this one here.
Let's just see. All right, let's just see. Let's all say our number 1s at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Get out.
Dunkirk.
I was fucking.
What was it?
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. Okay.
I said Get Out. I said Get Out.
Oh, can we kill him?
All right.
That's honorable mention. That's honorable mention.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and slit his throat.
No, Dunkirk's my number.
Dunkirk. Let's talk about Dunkirk, guys. Number 1 film of 2017. Came out in July, and it's still the number 1 film.
Dunkirk, when I saw it, was the best movie I'd seen of the year, and it was going to be the best movie I'd seen in a number of years. And I saw it twice, and it's still as good.
It is still there.
This is an all-time great movie, and this is a movie that I didn't even want. This is I was like, after Hacksaw Ridge, I'm like, I'm done with World War II. I don't need to see the Nazis. I don't need to hear this morality tale.
Yeah, I remember like before this came out, we were talking about it, and you were just like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I love Christopher Nolan. He's a fantastic director, but this wasn't a subject that I wanted. And I saw this movie, and it blew me away. And what was so great about this film was that it didn't do the things that I didn't want it to do. It stayed away from
the opposite.
The morality of we're fighting these people because we're awesome, we're the English. It was more of like a survivor movie, and a disaster movie.
We're fighting this battle.
So good, you don't need to know that Johnny, little English boy, doesn't like the Nazis. Like we didn't need to know, or because
we didn't need to know his wife was pregnant at
exactly.
home either.
Yeah, I need to go back to my girl, or my mama needs me to come back and milk the sheep when I get back. It was none of that. It was just about I'm here in the moment, and I don't care who's bombing me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to live with this little, group around me.
Survive.
Yeah, and this movie is told in 1 hour and 45 minutes. You're moving 300,000 men off of a beach in 1 hour and 45 minutes, and the aerial stuff is phenomenal. And then the end of this movie is the most glorious finish of a film I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, with the old Tom Hardy and everything. I love how this movie just puts you in the battle.
Puts you straight in.
Puts you in it. Like you said, it doesn't, deal with, I got this person back at home.
No, dude.
deal with
like the Battle of Dunkirk, we wouldn't be like, "Yo, bro, we doing the podcast next week?"
Well, exactly.
You know, like we're gonna be trying to survive.
Yeah,
it was almost like Christopher Nolan was at the Battle of Dunkirk and filmed it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, because I mean, typical war movies, they'll go into like the generals who are not fighting at all, just talking and like, "Oh, we need to do this, this, and this." This is just all the battle, which is great, and even the civilians. They show the civilians who are going to try to save these soldiers.
It's a story of heroism. You know, we're going to Dunkirk, as Mark Rylance says.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're not even waiting for the Navy to commandeer your ship. You're just going to go on your own because you just care about your countrymen.
Right.
There's so much beauty in this film,
and it was all practical effects.
And I think this goes to expectations of films. Again, you know, you expect so much. You expect so much from Star
100%.
Wars. You expect so much from other movies. You expect so much from Spider-Man. You expect so much from even Oscar-worthy movies like Three Billboards. Like I was expecting so much from that, but it's just like when you go into a movie with low expectations, it's like, how does that affect you so much? Like I want to know if like I know you were really I mean, here's an example here. Like this was your most anticipated movie of 2017
and I specifically told you,
and this is still your number
one.
Dude,
I said Christopher Nolan will change the game, and he did. To me, he changed cinema. You want to talk about Mother? You want to talk about we don't need character development. You know, certain people don't need it. He legit brought us to the Battle of Dunkirk, bro. Yeah. And I felt like I was there in IMAX, dude. I was sitting there and I felt like I was at Dunkirk. I didn't give a shit what their names were.
Right.
No, I don't need to know their names.
I felt like this is cinema.
Yeah.
I legit.
Exactly. You're put in the situation the characters are in.
I actually shuffled a couple times Blade Runner and this, and I realized that this put me in a historical event as I was there, dude.
Definitely.
As I was there.
You talk about character development.
People hated it because there's no
it's ridiculous.
I actually loved it more.
By the way, we have an episode on this where we reviewed Dunkirk, and we talked about character development where we said the character is developed as the film goes on.
Right.
You meet these people, and then you
in
see
this
how
situation
they react
in their life
to this thing that they're trying to survive. That's their character development, not I got mom and pa back home. That's not, dude. That's
no
not
one
character
has
development.
time to
or like a character that's scared, like, oh, I'm scared of the war. I'm scared of the war, and then this heroic thing at the end of the movie.
In this moment,
the character
in this war, who has time to talk about it?
Right.
Saving Private Ryan, they had a couple downtime. You know, they could have said a couple things, but dude, they didn't have time to talk.
No, and you're just in the moments that they have, which is I love. What I really, really love about this film is that there are moments of calm, where things slow down and then they sit on the beach or they sit in the shit and then they take a breath and you get to take a breath. It's the audience. Yeah. This is not nonstop chaos, which the trailer made it seem like it's going to be like a horror film almost as World War II. That's not this. And when they're in the planes, there's quiet. You know, when they're moving around, I got him. Or it's like Tom Hardy, blah, 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 blah.
Bane.
Yeah, exactly.
Bane, number 2.
Yeah. And the other guy the blonde guy who plays the other captain, he was so good too.
Yeah, he was.
The aerial stuff was phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, the character development criticisms are just plain stupid.
Well, it's kind of like with the Rogue One, like the character development with
so
that.
Like they're developing them as the movie goes along.
Exactly.
You're
I
facing
love the
these
fact that they
circumstances.
killed everybody off in Rogue One, but don't.
Me too. Yeah, well, it's one of my favorites.
And I love how the end when they're reading that speech or whatever from Winston Churchill.
Yeah,
and just like they're.
Did you see Darkest Hour?
Not yet.
I heard. I haven't. I heard Darkest Hour in Dunkirk.
This is nonsense, and I know what.
And I don't want to hear it.
I don't even need to see the movie to know why it's nonsense because we have such a thing. We have this movie press and critique thing that where they're like, we need to moralize everything, so we need to see a great performance, a rousing performance by a Winston Churchill character making this thing. Or
because it's a World War II film.
Yeah, by Gary Oldman, who's a phenomenal actor.
Right, yeah.
But the great thing about
supposedly he's supposed to win the best actor.
He may be great, but what I love about Dunkirk is that it's read by a soldier who actually goes through
which
the thing.
Is a no-name actor.
Right, we're going to fight them on the beaches. We'll fight them on the land. We'll fight them on the sea. And the thing I said, well, for them reading it, well, they already did that, right? This message isn't for me. I'm coming back on the train. I already did it. So I already fought them on the beaches. Well, yeah. I already fought them on the land. I already fought them on the sea.
And that's kind of like the look he gives after he reads it. He's just like,
okay, well, this doesn't help me.
Yeah.
I'm home now, and I'm glad to be home, but I don't need to hear something from the prime minister that's going to rouse me because I've already been roused and I already fought the freaking battle. The rousing is for, the other people who aren't even fighting the war. So the idea that we're going to say that it's better as a movie because we have this amazing speech with flashing bulbs and all this stuff, that's nonsense. What's great is to see the actual people who went through that thing. What we saw in Dunkirk. Yeah. And they're riding back, and we're like, what we think is heroic is not a speech by a prime minister. What's heroic is trying to survive and get your ass off that beach.
Exactly.
And save.
Exactly, yeah.
The Mark Rylance character riding his own personal boat off to Dunkirk, and, the poor kid dies. But you know what? I can't think of anything greater.
Yeah, Winston Churchill might have been heroic, but he was more of a motivator. He was he was a great, I'm sure he was a great leader. He's a great person and everything. But at the same time, these guys were in the thick of it. They did
lived it.
They lived it. They fought for their country. They did what they needed to do, and now they're reading this guy saying, "We need to do this, this, this." I already did that.
Yeah, Thanks for the pep talk.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, Dunkirk. Oh my God, amazing. Do you have anything else on that? My friend Vinny.
My man said the whole thing. Like
if this thing doesn't win Best Picture, it's a travesty.
I actually hope it does.
But
the thing that makes it even more great is that it won't win anything else besides special effects and cinematography. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. It will not win Best Actor. It will not win Best Supporting Actor.
Best Director.
No. It puts you.
I hope it wins Best Director. Situation, at least.
No, yeah, but it doesn't have like a moment where like the camera zooms in on Harry Styles.
Well, no, actor, where he's like acting wise, this isn't. No, it'll win
special effects, but I really hope it takes Best Picture just for what it is.
And Best Director. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so you think this should win both?
I think this should win Best Director and Best Picture.
I texted you that. I think Christopher Nolan should win Best Director finally. But yeah, it doesn't focus on anything else, man. It doesn't exaggerate on things. It just puts you in. It puts you in the situation. It doesn't have a crazy character, crying and just like totally emotional, like, oh, that dude's trying to win an Oscar. It doesn't have anything crazy. It just puts you in the moment. This was the Battle of Dunkirk. You lived it. You saw it on IMAX. You were there, and boom.
It's a great call. There isn't a second wasted in this film.
Yeah, and I also hope...
No, there's not. There's not like a director just totally like showing off either.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like he's showing what needs to be shown. Yeah, it's an honest portrayal of the event.
Exactly. And again, I hope, like you said, special effects and stuff, but sound design especially.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it wins sound design because the
you think it should win score?
I saw this in a regular... maybe.
I think
it's nominated for score for Golden Globes. I'm sure it'll get nominated for Oscars. But sound design, again, I saw this in a regular theater. Not even AMC 20. I saw it in Movie Co. in Palm Harbor. For those listening here. Which is a tiny little...
Good old Palm Harbor.
Florida. Is a tiny little theater. And the sound of the shots firing like through like when they were hiding in that boat and stuff, like the sound, I was just like, whoa. Like I can only imagine what that was like in IMAX.
That's a little too loud.
Dolby Digital.
For example, like Titanic didn't get.
Yeah, I think the people hiding in the boats would say though it's a little too loud.
For example, Titanic didn't win Best Actor, didn't win Best Actress, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, won Best Picture.
It won a bunch of sound design, won Best Picture. It put you on the Titanic, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
And it did not need some crazy moments. That I feel like this should win Best Picture without anything else besides sound design and everything else.
I really hope so. And actually, I looked...
a lot of movies, actors come along with the picture, but I hope that this one...
Surprisingly, wins. I saw this in New York Times #1 movie of 2017.
It was New York Times?
Yeah, by A.O. Scott, which...
It was actually
whom I don't really like. But this is... because who cares about what the New York Times thinks, right? But I happened to see it just out of curiosity. This thing better freaking win Best Picture. This is one of the best... This is the best movie I've seen in years. This is... And I think I said this back in July, I guess. This is a Goodfellas. This is an all-time great film.
One of the best war movies of all time.
This is not just a 2017 movie. This is an all-time movie.
No, I mean, this is...
I've never seen anything like this.
This is going to go down in history.
That's why I said Christopher Nolan will change the game. Dude, lately when movies come out, I look at directors and I know like the movie will be. I didn't think Christopher Nolan was gonna mess this up, bro.
All right, look at our top 3 movies. We had Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, Blade Runner 2049, Denis Villeneuve, which I think is the best like new director out there. Like I think he's gonna,
for sure he will never fail.
Anything that comes out, like he's Christopher Nolan status to me at this point. Where any movie that comes out, even if I don't like the trailer, I'm still gonna see it just because.
I think I loved Arrival more than probably both of you. So
I love Arrival.
That movie last year. That movie made me tear up.
I cried like
many times,
bro.
So yeah, I mean those.
We'll have a cry competition next time.
Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve.
Than you, bro.
What was number 3?
My number 3 was Disaster Artist, James Franco, best director.
Oh, I had.
The Disaster Artist.
I had I.
It's your number 3, bro.
All right, so let's just go through it. So our number 10 through 1. My number 10 was 3 Billboards. My number 9 was Wind River. My number 8 was Shape of Water. My number 7 was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. My number 6 was Spider-Man: Homecoming. My number 5, Lady Bird. Number 4, Baby Driver. Number 3, Disaster Artist. Number 2, Blade Runner. Number 1, Dunkirk. Dave?
Nice. I still think I have the best list. As I think
obviously.
It's over.
Obviously.
My number 10 was Disaster Artist. My number 9, Spider-Man: Homecoming. 8, Baby Driver. 7, It. Number 6, The Last Jedi. Number 5, Alien Covenant. Number 4, Logan. 3, I, Tonya. 2, Blade Runner 2049. And number 1, obviously, and of course, Dunkirk.
All right, I got 10, Mother. 9, War for the Planet of the Apes. 8, 3 Billboards. 7, Wind River. 6, Molly's Game. 5, Last Jedi. 4, Logan. 3, Shape of Water. 2, Blade Runner. 1, Dunkirk.
And beautiful. Vinny had 3 movies that both Dave and I did not have. So kudos to Vinny.
Good job. Thanks for
being
change up.
That
and what
guy.
did we learn from this? If Tommy Wiseau can make it, we can make
it. That's right.
Tommy Wiseau's dream.
And real quick,
all about.
A couple of my...
if he can make it on our list...
Anybody can make it on our list. A couple of my honorable mentions were The Big Sick, Logan, It, Get Out, Good Time, which was Robert Pattinson, him and his brother go on a bank robbing spree, or just a bank robbing thing. His brother gets arrested and he tries to get him out. But it's a good movie.
I heard it's good.
Pattinson is actually really good. I wasn't drawn to it until I saw other people's reviews of it.
I have no honorable mentions because my top 10 is the best.
Oh, of course.
I have honorable mentions: Okja, Detroit, Get Out, It Comes at Night.
Oh, It Comes at Night. Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
Raw, a movie Raw, which will probably make you throw up. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Mudbound was decent, and that's about it.
All right.
I want to see 1922, and I want to go through the
I saw 1922.
Netflix. Yeah.
And movies I have not gotten a chance to
too.
see. I can't wait to.
Okja's good.
Can't wait to see Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread's on.
Oh yeah, whenever it comes available to us.
January
Anderson.
12th.
Because Daniel Day-Lewis is going to be his last movie.
Yeah.
What an asshole!
I know.
Who the hell?
I mean,
does he think
honestly,
he
the
is?
subject matter just seems kind of like to me. But
Well, he did 9, but I still like 9.
Yeah.
I think it's the only musical I
Paul
liked.
Thomas Anderson.
La La Land.
9?
I thought you liked La La Land.
You like 9?
I don't know if
You said La La Land was your favorite of last year.
well, I'd say I don't know if La La Land is really in the same style as a
As a
9
musical.
I didn't see that.
Okay, I get you.
It's more of a hybrid. And actually, I saw The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, who I don't like musicals, and I really am not
you did see
crazy
that.
about Hugh Jackman. But
You're not crazy about you?
Listen to
Anyways, go ahead. But you like
this was actually a pretty decent
Okay.
film. It's the score is catchy. It kind of sounds like a lot of the stuff you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
but still pretty good. And the story of P.T. Barnum is pretty good. It was well done. This one actually, if I don't have honorable mentions because I only picked the top 10, but this one might have made an honorable mention. It was actually a fairly decent movie. This one is a wife pick.
Yeah.
If you want to take a wife to let's go see.
Hey,
I'm gonna surprise
what are
you.
you
I want to
doing
take it to a musical. There you go.
Let's go.
What are you
You
doing?
got that Hugh
But,
Jackman. So
What a great year in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome movies. I mean, I loved all of our top 10s, so I'm
there's
glad
a
we
lot
did
of good
this.
films and a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
Most of these movies on my, I'd say at least half of the movies on this list kind of blew me away and exceeded expectations, and they just happened to be this good to me.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm Loved this year. Can't wait to see what 2018 brings.
Absolutely.
So, Vinny, thanks so much for coming back on.
Me,
you're welcome back anytime. Would love to have you as a regular back on the show.
I would hate it. So
yeah, well, Dave,
come on ever again.
It's whatever.
Like, who's this guy?
But all right, folks. Well, that is it for us. Follow us on Twitter at BlockbusterCast. I am at BCCord.
I'm at Dave_Quist. Vinny's going to get a Twitter, and please watch us on YouTube.
Yep, definitely watch us on YouTube.
And give us a review on iTunes. We would love it. We desperately need it.
Yes, please, please. You're tearing me apart, iTunes.
Yeah. Hi, Dougie.
Hi, Dougie. All right, folks. Well, let's just do. All right.
I did not.
Best movie.
Great story, man.
Maybe we'll do most anticipated 2018. I don't know.
We should.
But all right, folks. Well, that is it for us. As always, grab some popcorn, grab some snacks. We'll catch you guys
At the movies.
at the movies.